I feel like I'm gonna get cancelled if I keep doing this. But today we're gonna be talking about why I am skipping Robin. I'm telling you straight up as well, there's gonna be why I'm skipping Boot Hill. Okay, when Boot Hill comes out. Just so you're mentally prepared. Okay, to start, it's not like I didn't try to pull for Robin. I pretty much have been indecisive about her for the longest time, and I finally just made up my mind today after yesterday's polling session where I pulled 40 times on her banner and got a grand total of nothing. Didn't even get a single Shuei, which I really want for my E6 Shuei. Nope, not a single Shuei. I think 40 pulls is all I'm willing to do, and you know, if I got her, then that'd be great. I let fate decide, but I'm not willing to go to 50-50 and let 50-50 decide. That's where we are. So Robin actually is very strong, right? I don't think she's weak at all. Ruan may set the bar very high for a new limited 5-star harmony, and Robin kind of like matches and even excels and beats out Runmei in certain parts. I'm just using this Braxophone video graphic. She buffs a bunch of attack, right? If it's a well-built Robin, it goes up to 1,000 plus attack, which is honestly quite underrated. Like, yeah, it's just attack, whatever, right? But it's 1,000 plus attack. It's better than Tingyun. On top of that, she gives 45% combined crit damage on follow-up attacks. And if you don't do a follow-up attack, it's still 20% crit damage on everything. On top of that, it's a flat 50% damage bonus with 100% uptime as well. And the biggest thing, and also the reason I was even tempted to pull her to begin with, is the fact that she action advances your whole team by 100% when she ults. Also, when she ults, she also does a bit of damage whenever your allies hit enemies, right? That's the whole thing with Sparkle. I think the main reason I was tempted to get her was because of the free light cone, which almost worked on me. It almost worked on me. And if I did get her from those 40 pulls, then it would have worked on me, yeah. It's almost like a buy one, free one discount, right? It's almost in my head like, oh, if I get her, I can use this light cone and that's added value. But I forget that you have to first buy something to get this. Something that, in my opinion, kind of logically looking at it, I think I don't need. Free light cone is good though. If you don't get Robin, that's -1 S5 light cone that you don't use. True, real, yep. It's my mentality, like, oh, if I don't buy this thing, then I don't get a discount, you know? It's like, wow, it's a 50% discount on this new sofa. I already have like 5 sofas at home, but if I don't get this new sofa, then I don't get to use this 50% discount on this new sofa. Yo, it's literally 200% value. But I snapped out of it. We're gonna talk about why I'm not pulling, okay? 3 reasons I am not pulling. Number 1, she is beautiful, amazing, pretty. Look at that walk, look at that dress, look at that bird that she throws. Bam, and it doesn't destroy anything. Wow, she is beautiful, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Let's just put it this way, I can sleep at night without pulling her. She's not a character that I'm like, oh, I need her. Her animations are nice as well. That's a nice basic attack. Her E animation is especially beautiful. Look at that. Look at those wings. I am in love with the wings. And then with her ult, I know it's a bit controversial, but the animation itself is nice. And she sings, and it overrides every single song. You can't hear it right now because I have music turned off. Okay, this made me look bad. It's not because I don't want to hear Robin singing, it's just because I play my own music on stream and that's the thing. I forgot to turn it back on. Okay, we had it turned on yesterday. Okay, I think it's fine. I haven't heard it enough for it to start to get annoying. I don't know if it would, honestly, because I'm not pulling Robin. That's one of the downsides, not pulling them. You don't get to play them a lot, I guess. I'm so getting cancelled after this, man. I am so getting cancelled. Yeah, anyway, bottom line is she's fine. Subjective, she's fine. If you love her, that's great. I'm happy for you. Your wife, your favorite character, she's here, she's great. But yeah, but not for me. I guess this is always the hardest part to do because it's hard to explain something subjective, right? It's like our whole life is what determines our tastes, our preferences and stuff like that, you know, our experiences and stuff. It's hard to be like, yeah, this is exactly why I don't like her or don't like her as much. I don't know Pluv, I don't know who I'm saving for. All I know is that I'm not pulling Robin. I feel like you don't need to be saving for a character to choose to not pull on another character. I used to be of the mindset of like, okay, there are no good characters that are coming out in the future that I think I'll pull. So I guess I can just pull on whoever because I don't want any of them anyway, so I can pull on whoever. When you say it out loud, it doesn't quite make sense, right? I don't want any of them, so I can just pull on whoever. I used to be like that in Genshin. I learned from my mistakes. Not doing that now. I'd rather save for a character I actually like because I'm vertically investing as well. I can just go all in and get Idolins. because that's what I want to do. All I know is that I'm not pulling Robin because the second reason, I guess the main reason, right, the meat of it is I don't need her. And I think if you ask whoever like, yo, why are you not pulling this specific character? Always the main reason would either be subjective, like, okay, I don't like the design, blah, 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 blah. But in terms of gameplay, right, it's I don't need them. I think that's the most common answer. So a lot of people compare Ruan to Robin because they are team-wide buffers. There are a few characters that do that. In the Harmony role, it is originally Asta. Asta was the OG, right? She buffs your whole team's attack, and also she buffs your whole team's speed. It's not limited to a single ally like Tingyun's buffs are. In the same way, you could also say that Pella is a team-wide amplifier because she debuffs all enemies. And no matter whichever ally hits, their attacks will do more damage, right? Yeah, same thing for Welt and his ultimate debuff here. But Ruanmei was the first real character that almost made dual DPS teams more viable, in the sense that she provides buffs to your entire team and her buffs are very, very potent. Well, Robin is another character that is like that, so it's understandable that Robin and Ruanmei are very comparable to each other. And since they're so comparable, their roles often overlap. And honestly, if I had a E0S1 Ruanmei, I could see pulling Robin being a viable option for leveling up my follow-up attack teams, because that's where she shines the most, as well as just helping out in other teams. For example, I want to run 2 dual carry teams in Pure Fiction, and I could still pull her for that. But as a straight up replacement for Ruanmei, even in follow-up attack teams, my Ruanmei is already E1 S1. Okay, I said that in the reverse order, but E1 S1. And she has max traces. So it begs the question, right? How invested does my Robin need to be a viable replacement for Ruanmei in any team, even follow-up attack teams? Because I would argue that if I put my Ruanmei in a follow-up attack team, which, by the way, I don't even have, my ratio is level 70, I would argue that my Ruanmei buffs their damage output overall more than a E0 S0 Robin would. And to make Robin competitive, I might have to pull an Eidolon, I might have to pull a signature light cone for that. On top of like leveling her traces to max to begin with as well, right? And this is a thing with me, and you know, I play gacha game. I'm happy to admit I'm a degenerate. That's why I play these games. I like gambling, okay? I say this every time. I like gambling. Gambling on traces where you can get a chance to get a purple trace drop instead of a blue one is not as exciting to me as gambling on relics, where you have to gamble the main stat and then you have to gamble the substats after that. And sure, it's not too expensive like compared to relics, but I could spend 2,000-3,000 power for maxing out her traces, or I could spend 2,000-3,000 power on relics to try and get an upgrade for Jingliu, to ultimately get nothing because I'm just at that point. But maybe I get something and that'd be hype. Even if I get nothing, it's the experience of gambling. Fuck it, I get dopamine. Honestly, these games are about how much dopamine you can get out of the time you spend and the money you spend, right? Dopamine efficiency. The least amount of money spent and the least amount of time spent for the most dopamine gain. The dopamine to time ratio, dopamine to money ratio. That's the real the goal of these games. Because at the end of the day, right, we play these games to have fun, to feed our degenerate addictions, right? So it's about how much you can get out and how much you can feed your addictions, you know? That's the ultimate value of a character. If a character gives you dopamine, pull. If a character doesn't, don't pull. Anyway, yeah, I'm just a degenerate gambler, right? That's what I'm trying to say. And also, I use Jingliu as an example, but I'm probably going to work on my Acheron instead. Because if we talk about useful substat roles, which is the optimal way, or at least the way I use to judge a character's build strength that I went over in the Relic video, my Jingliu has a total of 42 useful substat roles in her build. 42, okay? The limit is 54 useful substat roles. If you get a useful substat in every single piece, and every piece is a 9 stat. But my Acheron is only at 29, which is a bit of a gap, and ideally I want to get her to 40. So you need power for that. And I don't think I'll be having power for a while if I pull Robin. So yeah, sacrifices have to be made. Also, I touched on this earlier, right? But the rat team, Ratio, Robin, Aventurine, Topaz team. Yeah, I don't have those characters. Yeah, I have Ratio because I played when he was free. But do I really have Ratio? I don't have a signature light cone. He's not built. He doesn't have traces unlocked. I don't have Topaz. Where's Aventurine, right? And that's her best team. That's a team where I can see her being better in than my E1 S1 run mate. And even then, I feel like my E1 S1 run mate may be better than that team. Alright, so I guess this is a situation where vertically investing does save you Jade. Because think about it, if I actually had those characters, right, I still would have a less reason to pull Robin because my E1 S1 run mate is already filling in that spot. If I build a future dot team, run mate is the GOAT there. If I build a follow-up team, yeah, maybe run mate isn't the best there, but if I want it to function and do well, my E1 S1 run mate is probably as good as a E0 Robin, right? Depending on how many cycles I want to clear by and stuff like that. And there are nuances, but basically that. It saves you Jade and also saves you resources. Obviously, you kind of need to know what you're doing, right? Like, that's why I don't really recommend vertically investing only for everyone. I don't go around saying like, okay, vertical invest in your account, vertical invest, don't like pull a lot of units, just pull a few and then get idolins. I don't say that because I think it's ultimately hard to pull off and you can have fun playing the game whichever way you want. Just because I vertical invest doesn't mean I don't recommend horizontal investment. And just because I am not pulling Robin doesn't mean you shouldn't pull Robin as well. Vertical investment is kind of hard in this game for F2P and low spender because they're consistently changing a meta and adding new game modes that require different archetypes and characters. It's tricky, but there are ways, right? If you get E1 S1 run Mei, use her in MOC, use her in Pure Fiction, use her in whatever future game mode. Unless they literally ban characters that buff other characters, I don't know how you cannot bring Run Mei into a future thing. Same for Sparkle. Get E2 Sparkle, you're game over, you're done. Get E1 S1 Robin, HGG. For DPSs, sure, some DPSs like Jingliu, God in MOC, Pure Fiction kind of mid. Even then she can clear in Pure Fiction, right? But she's kind of mid. But like Ruan Mei, in Pure Fiction, she lets Herta do ADK. In MOC, she lets Jingliu do 0 cycles and stuff. That's why I say it's a bit tricky. You kind of need to know which characters are safer. But generally, amplifiers, Sparkle, Ruan Mei, Robin, I would say it's safe to go E1. Safe to go S1. You win. Okay, honestly, the last reason why I'm skipping Robin is because Wuthering Waves is coming out soon. And this might sound like a weird-ass answer, like it's a different game, like what does that have to do with anything? It's true though. These games are about dopamine, and when I get a new character, it's like a new toy, it's a new thing to fidget with, you know? It's something to play with, something to keep me busy for 2 weeks, you know? It's like a movie ticket, it expires. But Wuthering Waves is coming out before the expiry date. Wuthering Waves is coming out in less than 2 weeks now. So I won't even get to fully play Robin. Like the days leading up to Wuthering Waves, I'll be fully locked in. We'll be researching Wuthering Waves. We'll be watching gameplay. I'll be prepped, okay, to be the ultimate Wuthering Waves free to play god. I just don't have time to play Robin. What can I say? I ain't spending Jade on a character I ain't even gonna play. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like these are very solid reasons. If you want to cancel me after hearing all these reasons, feel free to. You're entitled to canceling me. But I feel like they are pretty good reasons. I hope I have at least 1 more month in me before I get cancelled. you know that the final nail in the coffin that would cancel me is when I post the why I'm skipping Firefly video. Because at that point it would be I skipped Aventurine, I skipped Robin, I skipped Boot Hill, which is like whatever, right? I don't think as many people care. And then I skipped Firefly. Then it will actually be Jover. It will be Jover. Whoever had hope in me, like ever pulling, it's just Jover. And then I dropped the why I'm building Pitch Dark Hook the Great video after that. Wow. Whew. Anyway, that's the video. If you want to join us, feel free to join us on twitch.tv/Nutty. Link in the description. I know this video is a bit late and you might have pulled Robin if you want her already. Final words, she is a good amplifier. If you want to pull her, just go for it. I don't think there's any regret gameplay-wise to pull her. Just know that each limited 5-star harmony fills a different niche. So depending on the playstyle you want, I suggest doing some research and pulling the appropriate character. Especially if you're just pulling her just for her kit. Don't eat too much McDonald's.